Okay. All right. Thanks, Mom. All right. Thanks, Mom. Bye. You always answer when Mom calls. Mom is always watching and she's like, I can't hear words you're saying. I'm like, oh, we're muted. So here's the thing. We don't have Deputy Laura. We have Deputy Mejia, but I forgive you for that. Stephen Estrada, custody. Stephen Acera. Stephen Acera. Am I pronouncing that last name correctly? All right. Stephen Acera. Joaquin Mendez. Joaquin Mendez. Danny Showalter. And custody is Juan Soto, Fernando Espinoza, Lazaro Estrada, Juan Soto, Jonathan Requines. Thank you. And custody is James Kennedy, David Tabares Perez, Trinidad Velasquez, Crystal Moreno, Justin Suma is in custody, Rogelio Lara. All right, Miguel Santiago Colon. And custody is Renee Rodriguez, Matthew Lavario. Thank you. Destiny Valadez. Mark Anthony Cepeda. Arturo Lopez. Carla Gonzalez. Alfredo Cardona IV. And custody is Jose Amezcuse. How do you pronounce that? Okay. Victor Mesa. Lyric Vega. Loretta Holmes.
Judge, that's the case that Mr. Demerits going to be talking about.
All right, thank you. Amadean Smith is in custody. Alberto Camacho. Jennifer Mora. Luis Miguel Hernandez. Renee Torres. Joe Serta. Thank you. Jose Cavazos. Alan Mayo. And you're here for Lisa Garza.
Yes, Judge, we're ready whenever.
All right. Victor Garcia, custody. Kent Yates, custody. Vernon Dixon, that is at 1:30 p.m. All right. Is there anyone who came in late or your name was not called? Excuse me, could y'all sit down so I can see? I'm sorry. Yes.
Samantha Richards, she told us to come back today, but apparently the bailiff did not get the notice to bring her.
All right. What we'll do, John Young, is we'll put her on the docket for tomorrow morning.
Done.
All right. Thank you.
And,
If you could make sure that if you go on the back and make sure that we have her case number and everything, I'll make sure she's here. All right. Anyone else who came in late or your name was not called? All right. These are the rules of the court. And Mr. Leal, you're just ready to start. Everyone, if you will please follow these rules, the court will run so smoothly. Number one, court reporter, do not put any items on her desk. Do not touch anything on her desk. Do not lean on her desk. Do not put your folders there. That equipment is over $10,000. If you damage, you have bought it. Probation officer in the back, could you raise your hand? She's right here in the corner. Do not put your items on her desk. Do not sit on her desk. Do not turn your back to her. That is her office space. Everyone knows the inmates come from this door. Do not block that door. Do not block the officer's line of sight. They are in charge of security. If something happens and you're in the line of sight, oh, well, I will tell your story and I will write them an affidavit saying that I've told you all not to do this. Do not approach the court unless you've conferred with your client, conferred with the state. If your client is on probation, you need to confer with probation. Once you have conferred and you've asked for your client, if your client is in custody and you've asked for them to be brought out, do not leave the courtroom. Because of security, there are only so few people that we can have in the box. And if you leave while your client is out here, you're being selfish to your colleagues. So do not do that. If your client wishes to speak to the court in a language other than English, yes, we need an interpreter. Once the interpreter is called down, do not leave because we have a limited number of interpreters. If you leave, then you're being a little bit selfish with the interpreters. Today is Monday. It's a day of new beginnings. So let's confer with kindness in our hearts. All right, everyone, please confer. Yes.
I'm here, Judge.
Okay.
I thought we were starting at 9, but
No, it's 1:30.
that's not a problem.
Yeah. So have you had a chance to go over the charge?
I have, Judge. I don't see anything. I'm gonna go over it one more time, though. I didn't get much sleep. We'll need a very brief Dental B. Jackson hearing for his confession, assuming they're gonna introduce it. Honestly, I think it'll take 5 minutes because it's either I don't think he can vote, but
Okay.
you know what I mean? There is something he said, well, I have an attorney. Just out of proper procedure, and I think it'll take literally all of 5 minutes. We don't.
All right, so, on video?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, how long is the video?
Total confession, or not confession, I'm sorry, statement, 35 minutes, and then the invocation, if there is one, it happens around the 3-minute mark, and it's literally a minute length.
All right,
So
if
5
you,
minutes.
if you will confer with the state, and then if you'll have the state give me a copy of the DVD that they're hoping to offer.
Yes, ma'am.
All
And
right.
there was one redaction we made. I watched it, actually I watched it a few times over the weekend. I didn't see anything else. So I'm satisfied everything's redacted. He mentions about being ex-gang.
Okay.
And so obviously that's improper for a jury.
All right. So if you'll talk to, well, if you have Jason's number,
Yes, ma'am.
all right, if you'll call them and ask them to bring the DVD down, and I'll watch it over my lunch break.
Oh, good. Excellent. I'll text
Okay,
you.
thank you. And then if they are able to get their people here by 1,
Yes, ma'am.
we can have the hearing, because I think their last officer is the detective, and I'm assuming that's who the DVD would come into.
I think they're only gonna have one more. He said they may call. There's 1 or 2. He said they're on the fence about calling. I don't know who.
See how my eyebrow raised because they told me one. So we'll see.
I fully suspect they're gonna rest after this one.
All right.
And then I anticipate we're probably gonna rest without, I mean, if this statement's coming in, I don't see much need to,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. We shall see.
Thanks, Judge.
All right. You're welcome. Yes.
Now, Judge, what's this? You had set a bond on this person. They were on track and only got a 13,
Mhm.
but somehow he's on full house arrest here and the state's not opposed to track and only. And the fee was already waived on the GPS.
Okay.
I spent all weekend with the jail fighting over this because they duplicated the charge, lost the bond.
Okay.
And then what do you want to do with Greg's case? Should I just get a new date?
If you will have them pull the file.
Okay.
Okay. And if you'll let the state know that they need to let the complainant know that he's going to be on track.
I submitted an affidavit.
Okay.
Said about it.
All right. Thank you. And everyone, when you're ready, just approach the clerk and ask them to pull the file and have a seat, and I'll call you in the order of appearance.
Is there such a thing? Yes.
Loretta Holmes. If you'll come forward, please. On this case, Lance, her attorney, Greg Damaris, he's a teacher as well. So he's teaching his class this morning. So if we can recall this, do you have employment? Okay, all right. If you'll recall this for tomorrow. All right, he'll give you a reset for tomorrow. You may want to contact your attorney and find out if tomorrow is a good day for him because I don't know his teaching schedule.
I'll text you, Judge.
All right, thank you. So we'll give you a reset form after you receive that and sign it. You're excused.
That just means you have to come back tomorrow.
It's
Okay.
But you did a whole year. I haven't been paid. It's in committee.
You're welcome.
Judge, can you go ahead and go?
Right?
After she signs the reset form.
I haven't been paid.
They haven't returned my calls. Cause the child was.
Well, you did a hell of a job.
Detectives in there, was left in the house.
And you have Lisa Garza.
Yes, ma'am, we're ready.
But they indicted her.
Or the friend. They said, what the hell? They said, wow,
Just give me one moment.
that's a crazy motive.
She contacted him and they said that I had. They haven't returned my call. Give me proof to show to you. I don't think she should have been indicted. Yeah.
So you don't return my call?
Yeah.
Or email. I didn't get it. So that's yes. Whatever we got. Yeah. Really? You're going to do my name. Because I don't have enough.
All right. Court is going to call 2022 CR. If everyone can please whisper. Court is calling 2022 CR 9806, State of Texas versus Lisa Garza.
We're ready, Your Honor.
All right, if our parties approach and announce for the record for the state
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
defense.
Robert Mauer for the defendant, Your Honor.
And are you Lisa Marie Garza?
Yes, ma'am.
You entered a plea on September 5th to no contest. According to the plea bargaining agreement, the state is recommending deferred adjudication. There's to be restitution to Ventura Perez and no contact with Ventura Perez and Arlene Martinez. Any witnesses from the state or the defense?
No, Your Honor.
No, Judge.
All right, defense, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, I just ask the court to note, this is a situation where the state and defense, I think, agreed that this plea bargain was the right course of action based upon the totality of the circumstances. I don't think there's an issue about any final amount of restitution. There's no problem with contact. The complainant moved and my client is also not at the same location. This is her first arrest. I noted one of the things that concerns me is probation noted one of their concerns was criminal history. And I wonder why, because my client, I mean, this really is the first case of note. And it was, our argument was, a case of self-defense. And I think we negotiated this because I think it was the right thing to do. And my client wanted to put this past her. So I would ask the court to grant her deferred, follow our plea bargain, and allow my client to move on with her life. I think she'll do this successfully. There's no indications of drug or alcohol problems, and she works currently as a manager.
All right, is there anything from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you may continue to confer.
Thank you, Judge.
So how many children are you in charge of and in care of?
Right now, my youngest just turned 18 on November the 5th.
Okay, any grandchildren?
I have 4,
All right, and do you babysit them sometimes?
one of them sometimes.
Okay. All right, this is what the court will do. Court will sentence you. The court will sentence you to the 6 years deferred adjudication. Of course, if she completes everything early, the court will consider termination.
Yes, ma'am.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. And probation, Zoom may be appropriate for her depending on her work schedule. Anger management. And I don't see in the report any restitution listed.
Yes, I don't think we have a specific amount. There was nothing specifically given by the complainant.
All right, then I'll do a restitution if any. And if you think the restitution amount is too high, all you have to do is come back to court and let me know, and we'll have a hearing, all right?
You can contact.
So that's restitution, if any, to Ventura, Ventura Perez. There's to be no contact with Ventura Perez or Arlene Martinez. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. They're asking for 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once you complete the parenting classes, the 200 hours will be deemed to be satisfied. There's to be regular UAs, field visits, 1 time per month for 2 months. Probation, if there is no issue with the field visits, then the remaining field visits will be at your discretion. Thank you. Probation, is there anything else she needs?
No, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. And I'm sorry, there's an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, you're not allowed to possess any weapons. With regards, we're off the record, with regards to alcohol, because you're on probation, you're not allowed to drink any alcohol. And I saw in the TAP evaluation, I'm assured that it's just regular drinking and not something that's a problem.
Yes.
But while you're on probation, you're not allowed to drink alcohol whatsoever. I know we have holidays coming up, but if you drink alcohol and if you test positive for alcohol, they could file a motion to revoke against you. You understand?
Yes.
From here on out, everything you do, you need to ask yourself a question. Could this potentially result in me going to prison for 20 years? Because that's how much time you could potentially get if you mess up. If the answer is yes, don't do it. If the answer is maybe, don't do it. And in this courtroom, to be successful on probation, communication is key. If you have an issue, talk to the probation officer. If you feel like they're not addressing it, you can always come back to court. All right?
Okay.
All right, just remain in court and probation will go over conditions with you. Good
Thank
luck.
you. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
What?
Hi, how's it going?
How are you?
All right, I cannot complain. How was your Fridays? Friday and Saturday and Sunday?
My Friday was good. I just spent that at home, relaxing a bit. And Saturday, I worked in the morning. And I went to go visit my dad for his birthday.
Oh, awesome. Tell him I said happy birth month.
I will.
Who's here on Elliot Vela?
I am, Your Honor. Ready?
All right, if you approach.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so was a plea, it doesn't appear that a plea was ever done. Is that correct?
There was a plea before retired Judge Angelini, and we agreed to defer adjudication.
Mhm.
And for some reason, he set it for PSI.
All right, so we have a problem. Things have been lost. Because,
Here's the report if you want it.
oh no, I have the report and everything, but
Okay.
I have this blank sheet as though a plea was never taken.
It was 6 years deferred adjudication.
No, I have the steps and everything, but I don't know how he pled or anything. So this is what we're,
Pled guilty.
all right. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm assuming the court reporter was here.
Yes.
All right. So we're gonna go on the record. 2023 CR 7388, State of Texas versus Elliott Scott Vela. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
James Seeloff for the defense.
Are you Mr. Vela?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Vela, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. With regards to the charge of robbery, do you recall how your plea was? Was it guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
There was no contest, but he said he found me guilty.
All right, so you entered a plea of no contest? Is that correct from both sides?
Your Honor, I do not have the file in front of me, but I could have that full judge.
No, that's fine. All right.
And it was a deferred, the state recommended deferred adjudication, so he withheld finding guilt.
That's correct, Judge. I do have in the, not the physical file, but in the, on JD, it's a 6 years of deferred adjudication, Judge.
All right. So the court reporter did take a record because you wouldn't have been able to enter your plea without the court reporter record. So I'm going to put it down as you pled no contest because you're telling me that you entered a plea of no contest. And you understand a no contest plea is not really you saying that you're guilty or not guilty. It's just saying that you're not going to fight the charges against you and you're not going to contest what people are saying. Did you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the previous judge found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Let me just review things very quickly.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, okay. Finally, I get to the point where the P3, who is P3? So let me just find that in the report. All right, we're going to go off the record. If you all can look over that, because it's not showing me. I know that the previous judge found there was sufficient evidence to find him guilty, but they haven't identified the defendants in the report.
Okay.
So they have a P3 listed, but there's no mention of P3 in the police report. P1 and P2, they have them listed as the complainants.
Right.
And then they have a suspect 1 and a suspect 2. Unless I'm reading something incorrectly, it doesn't mention who the suspect 1 and 2 is.
Okay.
So if you all can find that, and then I'll take you all up.
Okay.
All right. As I say, maybe I'm missing it because it is Friday and Monday.
Yes, no, I'll look at it.
All right, if you have a seat, once they find that, we'll take you up.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
You have to give the judge the file.
On this one, a judge's warrant needs to be issued. James Kennedy.
He's in the back, Your Honor.
Oh, well, he needs to be brought out. I mean, we can't have a hearing. How can we do anything on the record? And your client is in the back. They need to know. They need to know what's going on, counselor.
Sure, Judge. All right, bring him out.
They're not ready on that one. Yes.
It's report.
Mhm.
I got that downloaded.
Okay.
Got him listed as. And he acted alone.
Okay.
I don't know if that.
See, but the problem is they have him listed as P3, but then throughout the police report, there's no mention of P3.
The one that.
That I have.
attached. You want to attach that? I'll
Okay.
talk to the chief.
Sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes.
Good morning. It's for the 16th. And it's first setting. I wanted to go out of town on Thursday, I have a deposition in Austin on Wednesday. And I want to take Thursday, Friday off, and then next week after that off.
All right, you'll have to have them pull the file.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, you're welcome. So I always require that defendants be brought out because they need to know what's happening with their case. Otherwise, it's, yeah.
Hey, Kat. How are you? How's family? Always doing good? Yeah, you can. Oh, it's available. It is. One of the things we're in the file. It's on the same website. I guess you can go. It just said on every page. Hey, don't email us. I remember there was something I wanted to know. Yeah. Oh, just. Yeah. Oh, I was asking you. I always have a lot of money. Somebody else. Yes. Yes. That's it. Yeah. Okay. That's what I want. Is there?
On this one, order of pointing attention. Antonio Barrientos.
Case I.
Ah, okay, yes. So when are you out of town?
I have a deposition in Austin on 16th.
So when is this set?
I want to leave from Austin and be gone that
No,
Thanksgiving.
when is this case set?
The 16th.
Is your client in custody or on bond?
He is in custody. And it is the first setting.
So are you okay with moving it up?
Sure.
All right, tomorrow?
Yeah, sure. Perfect.
All right, so we'll set it for tomorrow.
Thank you, Judge.
Lance, can you put this on the docket for tomorrow?
Hold on. Sorry, what? Okay.
And this one is coming back on tomorrow. So we're done with that. Yes.
He's gonna figure out how to do this now. We got the report to satisfy you.
Okay,
And I want to tell
So
you, as an officer of court, I saw video too of this. I'm
Okay.
committed.
all right, so what we'll do is we'll reopen the case then, and then you all can add that into the steps. Yes. Well, you can just say amend States Exhibit 1, that's what, so it won't actually go to court reporter. You can just say, we'd like to amend States Exhibit 1 with a police report.
Okay.
Okay,
No objection.
okay, well, let me take this up, then I'll do that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Miguel Santiago Colon. Hello, it's always great seeing you
I
here,
don't get here enough, Judge. And it's good
but
to
we
see you.
see you every day.
Well, I guess I'm here every day.
All right, so where are we on this case on discovery?
Judge, we're still working on discovery, so the last time we were in court, I spoke to defense counsel about, I think it was Jason Todd. I think it was Jason Todd at first and then Andrew Del Cueto about some of the items they were seeking for discovery. So I looked for some of those items and I think we satisfied those particular items. And now we are looking for a police report that I have with defense counsel.
All right, everyone, please whisper. Yes,
I've requested that report from our investigator and from BCSO. So should get that hopefully pretty soon. And then the only other thing I think that's outstanding is defense counsel wants to take a look at the criminal history of some of the occupants of the vehicle. So not our complaining witnesses, but the other occupants of the vehicle. And so we're gonna make those available to defense counsel. So we should be sort of rounding third base on discovery, Judge.
all right, this is going to be your final discovery date. Because I'm assuming it shouldn't be difficult to get a police report.
Yes, ma'am.
And then the criminal history, that should be relatively easy as well.
Yes, ma'am.
So Lance, can you put this for the end of November? And what date do you want to give it? All right, November 27th. So once you sign the reset form, you're excused. All right, is there anything else?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, and on that date, will you be prepared to make an offer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so discovery will be due and an offer will be due on November 27th. And then after that, Mr. Cologne, I'll give you a plea deadline date. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Sure.
Question. Yeah. The second one's not bad. Okay, no. Where do we do our sentence?
Jesus Garza. Jesus Eduardo Garza. Stephen Acera. Joaquin Mendez. Trinidad Velasquez. All right. Destiny Valadez. Destiny Valadez. Carla Gonzalez. Jennifer Mora. Luis Hernandez. Renee Torres. All right, you need to get on the first row. Alan Mayo. All right, and the other parties, when you're ready, just let the clerk know. On Elliot Vela, are you all ready?
Ready, Your Honor.
Hello.
I'm stalking you, but in front of you.
Okay. All right, and everyone, please do not talk behind the court reporter. If you're in the box, just ask the deputy. They will move you to the further end. All right, do you have the exhibit?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let me look over this real quick. All right.
Just for the court's edification outside the record, I got the e-discovery and, there was video of, my
Okay.
funeral.
Oh, I just found it thank you. All right, we're back on the record in 2023 CR 7388, State of Texas versus Elliot Vela. State, any more evidence you wish to present?
Yes, Your Honor. We'd like to supplement State's Exhibit 1 with that additional police report, Your Honor.
No objection.
All right. I know previously, the previous judge stated there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. And after reading State's Exhibits 1 and attachments with the supplement, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. And the court has accepted into evidence without objection the supplemental to the stipulations. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we have a plea bargain for deferred adjudication. He is responsible. for-
Everyone, please whisper. If you cannot whisper, then you cannot talk while we're on the record.
He's responsible for a young son and he wants to turn his life around. So I asked the court to give him this one last chance. 6 years of deferred adjudication.
All right, so here's my question for you. Why are you stealing?
Money for my son.
No, your son doesn't wear cologne. Does your son wear cologne?
No, Your Honor.
How old is your son?
7 years old.
He's 7 years old. He's not wearing Versace cologne. So why are you stealing?
I was selling the stuff for money. It was stupid.
So why not just get a job?
I
People
know.
always say there are no jobs available. They are, but there are just some jobs that people think are too good for them. Like nobody, I always pass by, I see job applications for Bill Miller's, McDonald's, and McDonald's, I think they're paying $20 an hour. I know some people say, well, I'm not flipping burgers for $20 an hour. But you know what? Guess what? In order for this society and any society to run well, everybody has to be able to do something.
Yes, Your Honor.
You need some people to bring in the crops. I think people are learning that. You need somebody to be maintenance. You need somebody to clean up. You need somebody to change the bedding at the hotels. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
But sometimes people think they're too good for that. So why do you think you're too good to work?
No, I don't. I was working at Toyota. I don't know what happened, honestly.
No, yeah, you do know what happened. If you were working at Toyota, why were you no longer working at Toyota?
Transportation.
No, because there's Via Bus. So why were you no longer working at Toyota?
Out in the country where I'm in Poteet.
Mhm,
Via doesn't go out there.
mhm. And nobody else in Poteet works at Toyota.
Not where I was at.
I find that very
Well,
suspicious.
I'm sure there's other people that work there, but I didn't know anybody that did at the time.
I still don't understand that. If you have a great job, so you're telling me if I have a job and let's say my job pays $60 an hour and I'm working there, I have a child and I'm just going to say, well, I can't get to work anymore, so I'm just quitting. That doesn't make sense to me because you find a way to get to work. You either take an Uber, because I know Toyota pays well, you take an Uber to wherever the Via bus stop is, and then you take Via into your work. So that doesn't ring true to me. So again, why are you stealing? And you were stealing with other people. So all of you all got together and say, hey, neither one of us have a job and we need to support our children. So let's go to Nordstrom's rack and steal. I don't even understand going to Nordstrom's to steal. So we're back to why.
It was stupid. It was just to make money.
And how old are you?
28, 29.
So you're 28 years old and you're going to have a felony because you wanted to take some cologne.
It was a mistake.
No, it wasn't a mistake. You know what a mistake is? Let me tell you the definition of mistake. Let's say my mom didn't call me, but my mom calls me every day. So she would have called me and told me what the weather is. So let's say she calls me and she says, Stephanie, it's going to rain in San Antonio. Even though she doesn't live in this state, she always keeps her eye on the weather. And I'm like, okay. And then she calls me before I'm leaving. Don't forget your umbrella. I come to court. I have a black umbrella. I sit down next to somebody else who also has a black umbrella. I see people coming in, they're wet. I pick up the umbrella after I finish my business and I leave. And when I open up the umbrella, I don't see my initials. I took the wrong umbrella. That's a mistake. You made a choice. And let me give you an example of a choice. My mom doesn't call me and tell me it's not going to rain. It's looking cloudy, but I'm like, it's not going to rain. It's San Antonio. And if it does start raining, it'll stop fairly quickly. I come to court. I see people drenched because it's storming, raining. The person next to me has an umbrella. I don't have mine. I know it's raining. So you know what I do? I take their umbrella. That's not a mistake. I knew I didn't bring my umbrella, but hey, I don't want to get wet. You understand? So don't tell me you made a mistake. You made choices. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, who do you live with?
My mother.
And who else?
My mother, her husband, my little sister.
All right. So you're not really taking care of your child. When's the last time you saw your child before being taken into custody?
Like a month prior.
All right. Does anybody have the October 9th? Was a PSI done on this?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
You got it?
I have it, thank you. So they're asking for residential treatment. They say you have a alcohol problem, and it appears that you do.
No, man, the last time I drank was New Year's of last year. It's not a problem at all. And it's not even drinking, they get drunk. It was just on New Year's, that was the last time.
All right, well, they're asking for you for residential treatment. I don't know why they're asking for residential treatment, because it says you started drinking alcohol at 23 and you do 2 to 3 liquor shots 2 times a year. That to me
2 times a year?
does not, yeah, that's what it says, 2 times a year.
You know, and the PSI was on, when she asked me, I told her on New Year's and on Christmas.
All right, I think it's more than that, but you're saying you don't need inpatient treatment. We're going to start you out with outpatient treatment. Court is going to sentence you to 6 years deferred adjudication, intensive outpatient treatment with probation, 100 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to require parenting classes. Once he completes parenting classes, the 100 hours of community service will be deemed satisfied. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular UAs, make sure they test for alcohol. You're not allowed to drink alcohol at all while you're on probation. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's to be no contact with Nordstrom's. And that includes Nordstrom's Rack, the regular Nordstrom's, Nordstrom's off Broadway. You're not to go there. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's to be no contact with Adam Trevino.
He's a security guard for Nordstrom.
Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. And once he's,
Except for his child?
no, once he's started doing parenting classes, then you can come back and I'll probably lift that. But he has a alcohol problem according to them, and he's going around, and this is not, according to the police report I read, this is not the only location where they've been committing thefts.
You understand? You can't
There's to be
your child.
Field visits 1 time per month for 4 months. And then at probation's discretion. They would also probably ask for a theft course. Here's my theft course. Don't steal. Don't take what doesn't belong to you. Do you need a course for somebody to tell you that?
No, Your Honor.
All right. And we'll do the MRT. Probation, is there anything else he needs?
We want to order the meeting.
Yes, 90 and 90 days. So you'll have to do sober meetings each day. You can do those online. You can do those in person. They're all over the state of Texas, and I'm sure there are some in Poteet. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything else, probation?
You have any questions?
All right. Is there anything that you need from the court to be successful?
No, I got it.
All right. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. You need to be making your son proud of you.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right, so do better.
All right.
And this court, in order to be successful on probation, communication is key. If you feel like probation is not addressing something, you can always come back to the court, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
The probation officer will talk to you. No excuses. Thank you. Thank you, Judge. May I
Oh,
be excused?
yes, thank you. Always good seeing you. All right, who is here on Stephen Estrada?
Eddie Broderick, present.
All right, where is Estrada?
He's over there in the box.
All right, come down, Mr. Estrada.
It's y'all. Y'all already made an offer.
All right, this
Please have his county, the next three is on.
All right, who's the,
Okay, so,
okay,
Judge, I have all the discovery I need. Mr. Estrada was bench warranted over about 2.5, 3 months ago from Hayes County.
Mhm.
He's double enhanced. Hayes County gave him an offer of 15 years.
Mhm.
It's the same offer they've also
well,
given.
I don't want to know what the offer is here.
They've given an offer there, they've given an offer here. His concern is that he takes care of Hayes County's first because he trusts Hayes County less than Bear County. I think he's making a rational decision. And so he is scheduled on the 27th of this month to go to Hayes County. And he's calling his attorney today to get himself bench warranted back there to take care of it. And then he will take care of the case here.
What is your issue with the lack of trust of Bear County?
No, Hayes County. no.
Hayes County?
Yes, ma'am. It's just I've been incarcerated 2 years and 9 months.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We can do a plea on this case today, and I will set sentencing off to when he does his sentencing in Hayes County.
Would you consider doing the plea tomorrow?
No, and let me tell you the reason why, because Hayes County is going to see on our system that he has been to court, and they're going to immediately take him.
And they're gonna what? I'm sorry.
They're going to immediately take him. So if he does a plea today, we can, once they transfer you back to Hayes County, if Hayes has Zoom available, we can sentence you by Zoom if there's no objection by your attorney.
There is no objection. I'm sorry. I have something that I'm trying to work into the schedule. Would you take a plea by Zoom or not?
No,
Okay.
because it appears that he has a lot of cases. So if y'all do the plea today, and then we will set you on the day that after your Hayes County, which you're saying the 27th,
Yes, ma'am.
I will set this on the 28th for sentencing.
See, the thing is, ma'am, I'm afraid to sign here and then go over there and get my cases. I'm trying to get them run concurrent.
No, here's the thing. Once you do your plea here, if you're sentenced in Hayes County on that day, I will ask that it run concurrent.
Yes, ma'am.
All right?
Right.
All right, thank you. So they're going to enter a plea on that. Thank you. Just have a seat. Henry Arzola. Henry Azola. Excuse me, is there a reason the person in the red is standing and chewing gum as like there's no tomorrow? Hello, good morning.
Yeah, we did. After evaluation, just for.
I'll say, he already entered a plea in this
We
case?
did, Judge, in front of Judge Angelini.
And how did he plea?
He pled no contest.
Okay.
And it was reset for just a tap evaluation.
All right. Court is calling 2023 CR 7490, State of Texas versus Henry Arzola Jr. We're going to have parties announced for the record for the state
Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
defense.
Jason Joyner for Henry Arzola.
And are you Henry Arzola Jr.? All right, you entered a plea on October 9th to Class A driving while intoxicated. According to your plea bargain agreement, punishments be assessed at 1 year in the Bexar County Jail, suspended for 2 years. Have both parties had a chance to review the TAP evaluation?
I have not, Your Honor, but I remember this. Thank you, Judge. And I remember when we pled this, I'm familiar with the case, Judge.
Defense has, Your Honor.
All right. Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, we just ask that you follow the recommendations from TAP. The only thing that I asked, Judge, there's a 3-day Bexar County jail as a condition of probation. He's a full-time firefighter. We ask that you consider probating it or giving him house arrest on that with an ankle monitor.
All right, you can either do 3 days at the Bear County Jail since you're employed, or either you can do 30 days on GPS. Which would you prefer? Okay. All right. So this is what the court will do. And state, if you need to continue to confer, you can.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Judge.
Court will sentence you to 1 year in the Bear County Jail, suspended and probated for 2 years. There's $1,000 fine that will be probated. And has the restitution been paid?
My understanding that it has been paid, Judge.
All right, we're going to do restitution, if any. And probation, if you can make sure that the restitution has been paid. There's to be 2-year driver's license suspension. Ignition interlock for the full term. In lieu of the 3 days in the Bear County Jail. There's to be 30 days. GPS partial for work only. And the court is giving you the 30 days GPS because, one, I know the conditions at the Bear County Jail, and I know there are health issues related to that, and I know there's overcrowding. Otherwise, you will be receiving the 3 days at the Bear County Jail. You understand? All right. Do you have a vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Then, and also if not driving, then I'm going to want the mobile device as well. And there's to be ignition interlock on any vehicle at that home. 200 hours of community service restitution. Do you have any children?
No, ma'am.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And I'm going to want the victim impact panel and DWI education course for him. And 90 sober meetings in 90 days.
And Judge, if I may, regarding that, he has done 361 days of AA meetings. He did do the 90 days straight to start that. I don't know if he can provide you proof of that or probation proof of that in lieu of the sober meetings.
So when is the last time you had a sober meeting? What date?
I had it this past Monday.
He's doing weekly meetings.
I do weekly meetings now, but I did complete the 90 days straight.
Okay.
And then ever since, like I said, I'm as of today, 361 of sobriety and AA meetings.
All right, then we'll do, instead of 90 sober meetings in 90 days, we'll do weekly sober meetings. And that's until further notice. And intensive outpatient treatment. Either with probation or his provider. Probation, is there anything else he needs? 200. All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. You're tall enough. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. You should know better because you're a firefighter. I know that it's never anyone's intention to become intoxicated and drive. What ends up happening is you become intoxicated, then you don't realize that you should be driving. But I haven't done any statistical studies on it. My statistics professor will be upset with what I'm about to say. But just what I've noticed is when people drive intoxicated and there's an accident, do you know who they end up killing? they're just fine, but they end up ruining other people's life. Either it's a passenger in the car or it's the soccer mom or somebody with their children. So obviously you're a person who cannot drink at all. So do not drink. You understand? All right. Good luck to you. Could you make sure this goes to probation?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a good one. All right. Who's here on Gilbert Reynosa?
I am, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning. And where is Gilbert Reynosa?
He's not here. This is a John Fox case that he asked me to
Ah.
come by and ask the court if there was a development. I believe he texted me a long
Yes.
text this morning.
All right. Have you conferred with the state?
I have not conferred with the state. I don't know much about the case other than I was just trying to nudge it along anyway.
Oh, no. If you'll confer with them and see if they have any objection.
Okay, I'll do that. Your Honor.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right. Do you need?
I think I do. Thank you, Judge. I'll be right back.
Thank you. Jesus Garza. Hello. Good morning. How's it going today?
Good.
All right. So he's in federal custody.
He is. Now, I did talk to Paul. They have pled him in federal custody. He's awaiting sentencing. Of course, Paul can't know what he's going to get, but he thinks somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 years.
All right. State on Jesus Garza.
Yes, Judge.
This is the guy who's in federal custody.
Mhm.
They say that he has pled and Paul believes he's going to get somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 years.
Okay, Judge.
So what I'll do is I will reset this and then if you all can see where we are.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Lance, can you put this for the second week in December? All right, thank you. Matthew Lavario. Who's the attorney for Matthew Lavario? All right, Mr. Lavario, if you'll come down.
Come on up. If we're asking for a reset on this, please.
All right, so has all of the discovery been completed?
I have everything except the DVD that's got the pin factor on it. I've arranged to pick that up this afternoon.
Okay.
And I'll visit with him at the jail tomorrow evening with my laptop. I've discussed with the prosecutor, we have an offer.
Okay. And how old are you, Mr. Lavario?
6.
I'm sorry?
36.
All right, when are you planning on seeing him at the jail, you think?
Tomorrow evening, Judge.
All right, Lance, can you put this for a plea deadline date at the end of this month? All right, so we're gonna come back on November 30th. At that time, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer. If you choose not to accept the offer, the court will not consider any plea bargain agreements without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plead open to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is there anything else, counsel?
Nothing further on.
All right, thank you. You're excused.
Thank you.
Yes. Deputies, we're done with Lavario. Rogelio Lara. And who is Aztec? And Stephen Sarah is actually in the waiting room. All right, so on this case, today is plea deadline date. Where are we?
Your Honor, we do not have an agreement, so we just proceed to jury trial.
All right, how long do you expect this trial to last?
Oh, I would say probably 2 to 3 days, Judge.
Okay, 2 to 3 days on a theft case?
2 days.
Okay. All right. So let me see. Are you rejecting the offer?
Yes, ma'am. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I just want a little bit more time.
No. Today is the day for you to enter a plea if you choose to enter a plea. Otherwise, the court is not going to consider any plea bargain agreements in this case without good cause. In which case you'll have to plea open to court if you decide to plea. So do you want your jury trial? Yes or no?
No, I reject that.
No. Do you want a jury trial?
Yes.
All right. State, when are you all up in December?
The 5th, Judge. I think the first week of December.
All right, Lance, can you put this for jury trial on December 5th? All right, once you sign the reset form, you are excused.
Very good, Judge. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And that's Rogelio Lara. Thank you. Matthew Lavario. Oh, we're done with that. Thank you. And everyone, we are starting a jury trial today at 1:30. So we are recessing, doing a hard stop at 12. So if your case is not taken care of, you're going to come back in the afternoon and we will take you up during some break. Yes.
May I report back to the court?
Yes.
Judge. So my intention was to nudge it forward to the next step. I think we've done that. Probation is going to do a deep dive with ignition interlock and then report back to the state. I don't think there's anything I need from the court today. So I'll do that and then report back to.
All right. And if you'll make sure that it makes its way back into the file.
Well, sure, man, take it. Or do we want to give it to Lance?
You get to know.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Who's the attorney for Stephen Acera? All right. All right, we're just waiting for Mr. Lopez. All right. And Mr. Acera is by Zoom. Okay. Or maybe he's listed under Aztec. Let's see who Aztec is. Mr. Acera? I need you to show your video. All right, could you unmute, please? Hi, are you Mr. Acera?
Yes, Judge.
All right, so I'll need for you to call your attorney because your attorney is not here yet.
Okay, I'll call
So
them right
I'm
now.
going to put you back in the breakout room
Okay.
and then just contact your attorney. And once he comes here, we will take up your matter. So this is Monday docket and everything is on the docket. But the thing about it is whenever there is a holiday, if the holiday is on the weekend, what ends up happening is Monday becomes a very, very hectic day because everything that should have been on a Friday or a Thursday is brought back on Monday. And then we have a couple of people out enjoying vacation, which I think vacation is very necessary. Because otherwise what ends up happening is your brain, as my mom says, your brain needs some rest. And this can get very hectic. And because you're dealing with people's lives, some people could end up going to prison. some people, when they enter pleas, there are all of these collateral consequences. So you really need to be at 100% because otherwise you miss things. That's why it's so difficult to be in trial, because in trial, as a defense attorney, as a prosecutor, you need to be at 100%. And then you have the fact that things are happening and maybe things are happening that you didn't anticipate, and you have to be able to change directions and course. So it's very difficult.
Okay. No, it's not out there.
Everyone, please make sure your phone is off.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you.
All right, thank you. Fräulein Guzman Velasquez. All right. So today is the plea deadline date. What's happening?
Your Honor, I just been informed by my client that he wishes to retain his own lawyer. I suppose that he did not like the offer he received, and that's the basis for it.
All right, Mr. Guzman, are you accepting the state's offer or not? Today is your plea deadline date.
No.
All right. So this is going to be a jury trial then? Court will not consider any plea bargain agreements without good cause. Otherwise, you'll have to plea open to the court. Do you understand?
Yes,
All right. State, how long do you expect this trial to last?
probably I'd say judge 3 or 4 days. There are a lot of witnesses in this one.
Okay. Let me look here. All right, we'll put it on December 5th and see where we are. All right.
December 5th, Your Honor?
Sure.
Okay,
I'm sorry,
I was just confirming the date,
December 5th.
December 5th.
And before you leave, you need to file a discovery acknowledgement.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Guzman, have you spoken to an immigration attorney?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. I haven't taken advantage of the,
Oh, once I
Right.
have it, if you'll bring the next person up, who's your next person? Oh. This is done. Fernando Espinoza Rodez. Oh, come down. All right, Mr. Espinoza. Today is your plea deadline date. Are you accepting the state's offer or rejecting it?
And Judge, really quickly, so defense did make a counter, that's something that I'm considering right now. It's just kind of swamped with stuff, other stuff to do.
All right, so what we'll do is we'll excuse the interpreter and you can consider it and we will keep you here. All right, thank you. Thanks. You too. Jonathan Requines. Who's the attorney? All right, if you'll come forward. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good.
Let me just find him on the docket. Okay. So where are we with discovery on this case?
I believe we've given everything that we have or uploaded everything that we have, Your Honor.
All right. And then were you able to tender an offer?
We were, Judge.
All right, how old are you?
31.
All right. Lance, can we bring this back at the end of November for a plea deadline date? All right, we're going to come back on November 30th. On that date, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer. Do you understand? After that date, the court will not consider any offers without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plead open to the court. You understand? All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Have a great day. Fernand, oh, that's one they're still working on. Mark Cepeda.
Present, ready, Your Honor.
Mark Cepeda.
It is driving while intoxicated.
Correct.
Court is calling 2023 CR 8259, State of Texas versus Mark Anthony Cepeda. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Kevin Collins from Mark Cepeda, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Cepeda?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review that with your client?
Yes to all questions, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Okay, everyone, you all need to whisper. Okay. Going to show you what's entitled Application for Community Supervision or Deferred Adjudication. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
I did, Your Honor.
Going to show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
I did, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with driving while intoxicated third or more? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Off the record. Probation, this is going to be a probation. All right, we're back on the record. Mr. Cepeda, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, there's punishments to be assessed at 4 years in the prison. There's a $500 fine. State recommends community supervision. There's to be restitution to Susan Guevara, Guevarra, DWI intervention, victim impact panel, and ignition interlock for half the term. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Jail time? Yes,
No,
yes.
it's-
Okay, yes, yes,
You understood that to be the plea?
I guess. Was it
No, I mean, do you
the
know that
first-
to be the plea?
The first item that you mentioned, you said 4 years jail time? Is that
Prison,
prison?
yes. Did you understand that to be the
Yes.
plea?
I guess, yes.
Well, I think where it's confused, Judge, there's a recommendation for probation, but
There's a recommendation for probation. If
Okay.
I were to grant your application for probation, if you were to mess up on it,
Oh,
then you're looking at 4 years in prison.
yes,
So did you understand that to be the plea?
yes, yes. We discussed.
Defense?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
We did, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm going to show you what's entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
Not in this case, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 4 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 80 hours of community service restitution, 10 days house arrest in lieu of 10 days in the Bexar County Jail, 1 year Texas driver's license suspension. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty, Your Honor.
State any evidence?
Your Honor, I offer States Exhibit 1 in the attachments.
No objection.
All right, state, you may be excused to continue to confer.
Thank you, Judge.
Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge, the state had no opposition, so we're prepared if the court's ready.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
A couple of things, Judge, on the recommendation of the jail time. He does work full time. In talking to him, it might be better if he did a 30-day where he could still work. I think if it's a 10-day at home, he might lose his job. So that is a concern that we have. The other thing is he's been on Scram as well as Interlock for several months, and there were a couple of hiccups early on. The Scram was put on. There's been nothing since then. So I would ask as part of the sentencing, the Scram be removed, and of course the Interlock would stay on. And the only other item, I guess, while we're talking here is he will need an occupational license, which I understand now takes a hearing and a whole separate proceeding, but we would like to kind of get that going. We'll get a motion filed, but that's something that we need to keep working.
So what do you do?
I work in customer service. I just became a supervisor this week.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
No celebrating.
I know that's still.
All right. So why are you drinking and driving?
Well, I mean, this has happened previously and I have not been drinking and driving.
Well, I mean,
I took, my mother lives with me. And
Sorry?
My mother lives with me.
Mhm.
She's got the early onset dementia, so I got my job. I was there. We were at home together, and she was like, "I'm hungry," so I was like, "Okay, I'll get you a Whataburger." I totally blanked out on DoorDash, but I got in the car and went.
Well, you could have called an
less than a
Uber.
mile. I'm sorry.
Could have called an Uber. Less than a mile, you could have walked.
Yes, ma'am. I
Because if
understood.
somebody were in the vehicle that you hit,
Yeah.
who knows what we'll be here for. So obviously you're a person who cannot drink at all.
Obviously, yes, ma'am.
And I thought you would have learned that 2014, 2016, and here we are in 2023.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're not allowed to drink while you're on probation.
I understand. Your
All
Honor.
right, I'm not going to remove the Scram or the ignition interlock. We can set that for a hearing.
Okay.
And the court will consider it at that time. All right, do you have children or no? Okay. All right, the court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 4 years. There's a $500 fine that will be probated. In lieu of the 10 days in the Bexar County Jail, the court will sentence you to 30 days GPS, and that'll be partial for work only. And the court is doing that because I'm aware, again, for the record, I'm aware of the overcrowding at the jail. I'm aware of the health risks at the jail. Otherwise, you would be doing the time at the Bexar County Jail. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. There's to be DWI intervention, the live VIP, ignition interlock for half the term. And there's going to be a mobile device as well. $80 hours of community service restitution, or you can pay $7.25 per hour to the food bank. Or if you don't want to do it to the food bank, you can do it to any other charity, or you can actually do the 80 hours of community service. It's completely up to you. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular UAs, 2 years 2 years driver's license suspension, field visits, 1 time per month for 2 months, and then at probation's discretion. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And I'm going to want 90 sober meetings in 90 days. And we'll do a TAP evaluation out of custody. If the TAP evaluation recommends inpatient treatment, either way, we're going to start with intensive outpatient treatment. And if you have a private provider, you can do that through your private provider. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor.
But I have a question. Is sober meetings, is that probation will tell him.
Oh, yeah, that's AA meetings. They
Okay.
now call them sober meetings. I don't know why they changed the name.
Sorry, I'm so old school.
Oh, me too. When I said, some people, I will tell them AA meetings, they're like, what's that?
Yeah.
So
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Oh, thank you. Restitution, if any, to Susan Guevara. And if you feel as though the restitution is too high, you can always come back.
His insurance is paid, Your Honor, but we'll deal with
If you'll
that.
provide that to probation. Probation, anything else? All right, Mr. Cepeda, is there anything else that you need from the court to be successful?
I know, Your Honor.
All right, counsel, if you'll come around. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, sir.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to your attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. You're going to have to be hyper vigilant. And don't go out around alcohol. Do not be around people who are trying to get you to take alcohol. And probation also, he's not allowed to work at a place that's primary purpose of business is selling alcohol. Okay?
Understood. Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. If you need anything, let probation know. If you feel like they're not addressing it, you can always come back to the court.
All right.
All right.
Thank you,
Yes,
Honor.
you have one thing?
Yeah, with the scam,
Mhm.
we have to do what now? File a motion to get that removed?
Yes. Once you're on probation and your attorney brings that to me, I will take it up.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Just have a seat in probation. We'll go over your conditions with you.
Excuse Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Joaquin Mendez.
Your Honor.
Yes. All right, where is Mr. Mendez?
He is in Carnes in federal custody.
Oh, okay.
And I am appointed to represent him on his federal case.
Oh,
And
awesome.
I was inquiring to see if the court, what I put him, might be willing to consider appointing me here. I think that and Lance can tell you, I think the existing attorney's not qualified on the first degree list.
All right.
Is that right, Lance?
Yes, Judge, I checked, Mr. Hart, not on the first degree.
All right, if you'll put Ms. Efron on it then.
Okay, thank you, Judge. In his federal case may take a couple more months to resolve.
All right, because last time we were here, the federal trial was supposed to be October 30th.
Yeah, I got reset.
Okay.
So I'll stay in touch with the court and the state.
When has it been reset to?
I'll have to look for the dates. I can check.
All right, well, let's do this.
He's gonna probably do a significant amount of time on that case.
All right. Lance, can we put this for December 18th? We'll put it for December 18th and then you check back with us.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Renee Rodriguez. Anyone here to Renee Rodriguez?
Custody.
I just wondered.
Arturo Lopez. All right, where's Mr. Lopez? Come forward. All right, where are we on discovery?
Good, we're still waiting for some discovery. It's our first setting. I think we've got most of it. I don't know if there's any more, but
What discovery are you awaiting?
we've started downloading some video in the case. I believe there's some medical from the victim that we don't have that's complete yet. I'm not sure the state has it yet either.
For sure, the videos, Judge, when I started playing the videos, Mr. Cantrell was like, oh, I need to get those down. So
Okay. And you say medical from the complainant?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Lance, can you put this for December 18th or the 19th?
Thanks, Judge.
Let's see what date we get. All right, December 18th, once you sign the reset form, we will see where we are on discovery.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Crystal Marino. Who's the attorney for Crystal Marino? All right. All right, Crystal Marino, come forward. Hello.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. So where are we on discovery?
Judge, we are getting a protective order signed and a copy of the CPS records prepared to turn over to defense counsel. I believe that's the only thing outstanding at that point.
All right, and you all are going to have to confer off docket with an offer for the defense. And we'll come back on. Can you give me a date the second week in December? All right, you'll be back on December 12th, and that will be your plea deadline date.
And Judge, for the record, we have conveyed an offer to defense counsel already.
All right, thank you. So your plea deadline date is going to be December 12th. Do you understand?
Thank you.
Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Justine Summy.
Court Judge,
Good morning.
feel good after beating a defenseless Florida team.
Yes, Kanias and I always have a lunch bet on that outcome. And then, of course, neither one of us ever ends up having lunch, but oh well.
Come next year, we'll make a bet on the Longhorns and the.
Okay, yeah, we should. All right, so what is happening with this case?
Judge, we were conferring on the case and it sounded like we had gotten to a good deal and discussing the situation with my client. I come to find out that she has been diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Okay.
I do need to look into that before I can move forward with that agreement. If I can just get a 30-day reset to find anything I can do. I think I'm pretty sure she's competent, but I'm not sure how deep the schizophrenia goes. So I do want to look into that, Judge.
All right. Lance, can you put this for the week of December 18th? All right, we'll bring you back on the 18th. If for some reason your attorney wants you back sooner, then he can request for you to be brought back sooner. Okay.
Actually, can we do the earlier week?
Okay.
4th or 7th?
I meant the week of the 11th, if it's possible. Only that week is just kind of crazy.
Sure, the 11th works.
All right, we'll bring you back on December 11th.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Stephen of Sarah.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. Yes. Mr. Sarah, if you can unmute.
Yes, Judge.
All right. So I allowed him to appear by Zoom because he's not in the state. So are you accepting the state's offer or not?
Oh, at this time, he's not, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Sarah?
Yes.
Are you requesting a jury trial?
I don't even know what the offer is. Well, I don't. Yes, I guess.
All right, so you all need to go in the breakout room.
Okay.
And if you want to call him by phone,
No, absolutely.
I'll put you in a breakout room, I'm sorry, not a breakout room. I will put you back in the waiting room and your attorney's going to call you.
Okay, understood.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just internally
Mhm.
between the state and I, there was a sort of a counter that was made, and I was still looking into the discovery because it's more of like a civilish case, and there's a lot of paperwork to go through. And I'm trying to get connected that so that we can make this counter.
Okay. Lance. Can you recall this for the end of November?
Thanks, Steve. I got it.
Yeah, November 28th.
28th or 30th?
28th, 30th works great.
All right, so we're going to have you back on November 30th. Your attorney is going to speak to you off docket.
Okay.
And that's going to be the final time that the court is extending the plea deadline date.
Okay.
All right.
I'll get you that.
Is there anything else?
That's it, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
So I can log off?
Yes, you can log off, and defense, he can appear by Zoom again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Alberto Camacho. Hello.
Morning, Judge. It's in the box.
I don't think anybody remembers the boxer. Mancho Camacho.
I remember, Judge.
Yeah, okay. All right, so where are we on discovery?
Judge, I need to request the breath test discovery. I checked to see if there was a standard order. I didn't find one that the district court has, so I'll just, if it's okay with the court, I'll bring one of the misdemeanor orders and change the style.
Okay.
And then we had an ALR hearing last week.
Mhm.
The judge ruled that there was not reasonable suspicion to detain my client. I would like to get a transcript of that hearing.
Okay.
To
Well, have you turned the order over to the state?
no, I haven't done that yet, but I
All
can
right.
do it today.
All right, because we're going to have you turn that over to the state, and who knows, they may do something else with this case. And so we're going to bring this back for the first week in December. What date? December 7th. And state, if you'll look at the order by the administrative judge.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Sure.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
I will.
James Kennedy.
There we go.
All right, so an offer was tendered, and that
can't-
offer has been tendered for a while.
And a counter offer has been made. I was discussing with the prosecutor. She says she's not ready to change her offer yet.
All right, we're going to bring this back to the end of November. That's enough time for you, state?
Enough time, Judge. There is a co-defendant in this case who is set at the end of November as well.
All right, do you know what date the co-defendant is
I
set?
believe it's the 28th, Judge. I'll double check that.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Lance, on this case, James Kennedy. Yes.
And he hanging fire on a bond reduction was filed some time ago. Never been contacted by Carruthers Court.
Judge Carruthers doesn't do the bond hearings. Judge Nahara does.
Well, whichever one.
All right.
Usually goes through, or if you have time, John.
If you all want to talk with Lance, and he'll set it for a hearing, and I will hear it.
Okay, thank you. I did excuse otherwise.
Yes, Mr. Kennedy,
Yes, Judge.
you're going to come back on November 28th.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. David Tavares. Hello, good morning.
You're a boxing enthusiast.
Oh, yes, well, I don't think the boxing is at the level it used to be at. I'm from the Sugar Ray Leonard era, Camacho, where people actually had skill in the ring. It wasn't so brutal, but in a way, I guess it is brutal, like the gladiators, except people are getting paid millions of dollars. But now, and I'm not a big fan of MMA because it's just, oh, let's find somebody who's just walking around who maybe can beat up everybody. Let's put them in a ring.
I got lady friends like that. But I'm going to Judge Salvador Sanchez.
Okay.
Check him out one day, Salvador Sanchez.
And see, people used to go on and on about Triple G. I guess that's him. And I was like, I'm not super impressed. Because I come from Muhammad Ali, George Foreman. The rest of the people are not impressing me.
That's
So,
true.
I know. But you know what? It's okay to age yourself because that means you're currently alive.
That's right.
All right. So what is happening with this case? Today is the plea deadline date.
We're going to request a trial setting, Judge, because this will be the last setting to accept the plea.
All right. State, how long do you expect this trial to last?
Not much.
5 days, Judge?
All right. No, it's not going to. For this case, no, not 5 days. But this is what we'll do. Lance, can we put this on December 5th? But I'm putting it on December 5th, knowing that most likely you're not going to go on that date, but we'll see exactly where we are for the new year. But I want you to have a trial date certain in the new year.
Yes,
all
sir.
right. So we'll come back on, I'm sorry, Lance, not December 5th. Can you put it on December 4th? All right, we'll come back on December 4th for you to get a trial date.
Thank you so much, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. And thanks for dressing appropriately for court. And once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Trinidad Velasquez. All right, counsel, where are we on the VTC?
The Mr. Herman from Veterans Court told Lance this morning that he needed 2 weeks.
Okay.
He's got all the paperwork he needs. They're just evaluating him.
All right, Lance, on this one, can you give us a little bit past the 2-week reset deadline?
I think we had already talked about the 26th or 27th.
All right, November 27th. And you need to make sure you're not late for court again. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge, you might find approach real quick.
Sure. These are done.
I have completely plus against this.
Mhm.
Now it's making me a notarized copy. Agree protected.
Oh, sure.
One on top of it today.
You guys are doing it, making it happen. Oh, you're welcome. Fernando Espinoza Rodes. I think, where is Rafael Leal? All right, we're going to get him called here. And is anybody aware, is Kelly Piddle still in jury trial? All right. So could I see the file on Rolando Valadez? Thank you. All right. Lance, on this one, can you just set it for the end of November? All right, thank you. And Deputy Mejia, can you I'm sorry, Rolando Valadez, could you come forward? Come forward, please. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Thank you.
Your attorney is currently in a jury trial,
Yes, ma'am.
so he's not available to be here.
He spoke to me this morning. Yes.
Okay,
He told me.
so we're gonna recall your case for November 27th. They're gonna give you a reset form. Once you sign it, you're excused.
Okay.
All right, thank you for your patience.
You're welcome.
That's done. All right. All right, on this motion to travel, have you conferred with the state?
I have, Your Honor, they're unopposed.
Okay. Are they in agreement?
I believe so. I mean, I would.
I mean,
say
people
that-
say they're unopposed, but does that mean they're in agreement?
That probably requires a little bit more clarification, but I can ask her if you'd like.
Yes.
No opposition, Judge.
So you're in agreement?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
As long as there's no children at Thanksgiving, Judge.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I mean, on Thanksgiving Day, unless people don't have children, I imagine children are going to be there.
I believe that's why he's gonna go visit his grandmother. There should be older people, and if that's a condition of the court, and I believe his bond conditions already have, he's gonna follow them.
Okay, so I'll just put no contact with minors. All right, I don't know what kind of meal they're having at Thanksgiving, but Bellagio always, Bellagio has some of the best meatloaf. And usually I don't like meatloaf outside my mom's, not even my own. I'm like, Mom, this doesn't taste right. Maybe there's not enough love in it.
Judge, may I approach?
Yes.
It's on the trial case today. This is the original, not original, it's a copy of the original.
Yeah.
The-
Nobody trusts me with the original. Good call.
I saw the original on there, but it's a copy of the original, but it's his interview.
Okay.
And I believe that Mr. LaHood had something, ditto. the
Yeah.
First 5 or 6 minutes.
Yes, Judge. In fact, I think he's admonished around the 4-minute mark if memory serves me correct, but certainly within the 5 or 6 minutes. The rest of the video, you can watch it if you want, I suppose, but we're only interested is, did he invoke his rights or not? He mentioned having an attorney. I have a feeling I know which way the court's gonna rule, but we raised the issue and we trust, and we'll put it on the record, obviously, just before trial commences, whatever the court decides.
All right, so do you want an actual hearing or you just want me to review the video and?
Just review it, Judge, and I'm satisfied to put on the record, say I reviewed the video outside the presence, my ruling is blank. And I think that satisfies any of our obligations that we have.
All right, I'll review it over the break.
Not a problem.
And then since we're not having a hearing per se, then if you all could make sure you're here by 1:20 and I can hear an argument, is that enough time for both parties to argue?
Yes, yes, Judge. It'll be very, very quick.
All right, thank you.
This was original, I mean, like, copy of the original. However, I did redact, and I'll put it on the record, a portion of what I'm saying.
So this is the redacted.
No,
Okay, which part have you redacted?
I redacted a portion where it speaks about being an expert member,
Okay,
and that's all.
And I don't think it has anything, and we're not opposed to the court looking at the unredacted version, because again, what we're interested in is right at the very beginning.
okay.
Once obviously he starts a statement, the decision will be made whether or not he invokes his right to an attorney or not.
Okay, all right, thank you, will do. Okay, and where did Eddie Bravenich go? Did we finish with his case? Oh, yes. And could I see the file on Ivy, please? Thank you.
I was, this one I was. That's. My first.
And do you have an update on Mark Ivy? He's the person who's in federal custody.
Is that the one that we approached on?
No, this is yes, we've been on him previously.
I'm sorry, today.
Oh, you know what? It's family violence, and I think yes, I'm sorry, it's all family violence except for one drug case.
Yes, Judge, I have reached out to our investigator so he could confirm that. I have not gotten a response to him, but I did email him right after you asked me. I can run up and check in with them if you'd like.
Sure, but I do say, I will tell you, I have it on my docket sheet that he's in federal custody in Maverick County.
That's what Marina had told me last week, and that she was under the belief that that had not changed.
Mhm.
I'm of course waiting on confirmation, but I imagine he is still there, and he also has other out-of-county cases. I believe he's also awaiting trial on a murder. I can't remember which county, Judge, but somewhere north.
All right, so we're gonna put this for the third week in December.
Sounds good,
And
Judge.
so everyone give me an update.
Yes, ma'am.
Lance, on Mark Ivy, can I have it for the third week in December to get updates on the federal cases and out of state? I'm sorry, out of county. All right, so we're going to come back on December 18th.
Yeah, we can. Just give her a heads up. Thanks for mentioning it.
Yeah.
Completely slipped my mind.
Yes.
Sorry,
Yeah.
back on the trial case.
Yes.
There's a portion also mentioned there that Adam had brought up previous to trial about the defendant going to Kansas or had to be pulled back. to
Okay.
Kansas. The state position, obviously, we can argue at 120, Judge. I just want to give you a heads up.
All right.
Yes, Judge, and that's it. I think, I don't think it's gonna take a necessarily long time on that. I know which way we're gonna go and there's where the state's gonna go. It'll be a pretty simple ruling.
Okay.
So,
Thanks, Judge.
thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right. You're welcome.
All right, sir. Around.
This is done.
Mine.
Alfredo Cardona.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning, and you're on this side, counsel. All right, so where are we on this case?
Judge, I have conferred with Mr. Garahan. He has put an offer. It's our first setting, was indicted in September. My client's here with his mother. I would like at least 30 days, Judge, or a short period, so I can review all the evidence with him. And I think we were inclined to accept that offer when we return. I'd like to have him do a couple of things so he can have a better argument for the court and for the state.
Okay, how old are you?
19 years old.
All right. Lance, if we could put this for the second week in December?
Fantastic, Judge.
All right, December 11th will be your plea deadline date. Once you file, once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thanks for addressing appropriately for court.
Going to LSU's.
So usually with plea deadline dates, I take in consideration the age of the person when they're younger, because these are life-changing events. And sometimes young people are not looking at the future, they're looking at what's most expedient. So unless the attorney, for example, that defense attorney said, just give me a little bit more time, I think it's going to work out. If his defense attorney would have said, hey, I want 30 days, I would have given him the 30 days. But this is what he asked for, so that's what he's receiving. Victor Mesa. And probation, this is an application for probation. Hello.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. And counsel, you're on this side. This is Criminal Trial Division. Court is calling 2023 CR 8380, State of Texas versus Victor Mesa. I'll walk you through it. Could I-
Anna Joe and Nelson for the state judge.
For the defense.
Alma Benavides.
And are you Mr. Mesa?
Yes.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review that with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Mesa, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm sorry. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, it appears you're proceeding on the indictment as presented.
We are, Judge.
Going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mesa, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial, showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the state jail facility. There's a $500 fine. State recommends community supervision. There's to be $57 restitution for drug testing. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Judge.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 80 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State, any evidence?
State offers State's Exhibit 1 with attachments. No objections, Your
All
Honor.
right, you may continue to confer. Thank you. Going to show you what's entitled Wavering Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we're just asking the court to follow the plea bargain agreement. My client is 49 years old and he is currently employed. He does remodeling and plumbing. He works under a subcontractor and he is working full time. And so we're asking the court to grant his application.
All right. Mr. Mesa, when you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Just marijuana, Your Honor.
All right, no methamphetamine or anything?
No, ma'am.
When's the last time you used meth?
That's just it. I don't use it, ma'am. I don't.
Well,
use
why is there meth in your wallet?
it. I cleaned out my niece's car and I think I put in there. It's been like,
Who cleans out? Wait a
it's
minute.
because I took it out of the impound yard. She had lost it to the impound yard and I took it out and I was cleaning out the car. and I
Okay, let me just
discovered-
tell you why that doesn't ring true to me. I don't know anybody who cleans out somebody's vehicle. I can understand, oh, I'm cleaning out my sister's vehicle. I don't have a sister, but I can understand. Or I'm cleaning out a relative's vehicle. Oh, this is a social security card. Let me put it in my wallet for safekeeping or in my purse.
I understand. Your Honor.
But I don't clean out a vehicle of a relative and I see meth and I'm like, oh, let me put this meth in my wallet for safekeeping. Who does that?
Actually, I put in there to present to my brother-in-law, Your Honor, but that's the truth.
We're going to do a drug test today before I send it to you today. Are you prepared to go today or you need water?
No, ma'am, I can go today.
Okay. All right. We're going to do a UA and then we will come back.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Probation, could you give me a UA?
Have a seat in the audience.
All right. It's Victor Mesa. Oh, I'm just letting them know who it is. And everyone, we're recessing at noon. Anyone who's not ready, you're coming back during the break. Jennifer Mora.
Yes, sir.
All right, who's your
I don't. We set to hire.
all right, what we're gonna do is Lance.
Yeah.
If she can hire one, she can hire one, but we'll have her interviewed as well because I don't want her to come back the next day, still
Mhm.
haven't hired anyone. So how much time do you need?
30 days, we set like till the 18th or whenever time.
All right, let me look. All right, Lance, then can you put this down for December 18th? All right, December 18th.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Hello.
What if, Judge? Is, haven't you gonna hire Jim Fisher now?
No. I really wish they'd ask me for approval before they do what they do, but Renee Rodriguez,
Yes, Your Honor.
where's Rodriguez? Come down, please.
No. This is like
All right, so and you're on this side, counsel. Unless you're the defendant.
No.
All right, have you all tendered an offer?
We have, Judge.
Okay.
And requesting a little bit of time to go over that with my client, if I can get another reset.
All right, Lance, on Mr. Rodriguez, can you put this for a plea deadline date, the week of December 4th?
December 7th.
Yes.
All right, December 7th. On that day, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer. If you choose not to accept the state's offer, court will not accept any plea bargain agreements without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plead open to the court. You understand?
Yes.
All right, so we'll bring you back then.
Thank you.
Welcome.
What's that piece up for Wednesday? I'm waiting today. Yeah.
Renee Torres.
Present, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Torres, come forward. And counsel, you're on this side. Come on, Ed.
Sorry,
You've been here long enough.
Left side, Judge.
All right, let me find him on the docket. All right, why were you late for court?
Had a vehicle problem.
He did call Judge and he did text immediately. His car broke down on the.
I like the way you're
Ready.
taking up for him. You can't be late for court. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so where are we on this case?
We're gonna request a continuance of 30 days, Your Honor. The state and I have some issues we need to resolve.
All right, are these discovery issues? Or is
Not
it something
discovery
that
issues
should?
necessarily, but some sensitive material.
All right, thank you. Lance, could you recall this for 30 days? And it's Renee Torres. All right, December 18th.
Thank you, Judge.
Just sign your reset form, then you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Appreciate the court's consideration.
All right, you're welcome. Aaron Alvarado.
Yes, Your Honor, we're ready.
Hello, let me see what we have here. Okay, thank you. Oh, okay. The steps on this one are very short, so I was like, where are my steps? All right, we're gonna go on the record. Court is calling 2023 CR 5315, State of Texas versus Aaron Alvarado. That party is announced for the record for the state.
Zach Dunn for the state.
Bridget Garza for defense.
All right, and are you Aaron Alvarado?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you entered a plea of no contest to count one on October 2nd, 2023. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is be assessed at a cap of 5 years in the prison. State is silent on your application, and they're taking in consideration NIMAG number 691315. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
Nothing he said.
Defense?
I do, Your Honor. I have it.
Yes.
Page 4, the victim impact statement.
Yes.
I'm objecting to number 5. Ms. Calderon, that is the victim's mother.
Mhm.
She is the one requesting the $500 restitution. It's our position she is not the victim. She cannot request the $500 restitution. And also number 8.
Well, let's go back to the restitution. The restitution that she's requesting is for what exactly?
It appears to be the broken window.
All right, so was that her home?
It was not the home. It was a broken window of a vehicle. I'm not sure who owns the vehicle.
Okay, all right. And then your other objection?
The other objection is page 4, number 8. This is the victim impact statement. Again, the victim impact statement is being made by Juanita Calderon, not the actual victim of Carla Calderon.
Okay. All right, and state with regards to a complainant making the victim impact and it is not the complainant?
That's correct. Juanita is not. Counsel was correct, Your Honor.
All right, so do you have any response to our objection? Because I'm assuming defense, you're asking that I disregard that entire
Yes.
statement.
The state is unopposed, Your Honor. That's
Oh.
fine by the state.
All right, so that will be disregarded by the court. And then with regards to the restitution for a broken window, the court doesn't have before it, one, what is the broken window related to? Because there was a broken window in the police report that's related to a habitation. So I don't know what this $500 is for, and the court does not have a bill for $500.
Neither does the state, Your Honor, so we're also happy to disregard as well, unopposed.
All right. Anything else with regards to the PSI's defense?
Not for any objections, Your Honor.
All right, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor, other than Mr. Alvarado. He may want to make a statement to the court.
All right, do you wish to make a statement?
No, ma'am.
If you do want to make a statement, then I will place you under oath. The state is silent. However, the state is allowed to speak on any discrepancies or any fact issues. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So do you still wish to make a statement?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Aaron Alvarado.
All right, defense? Or do you just want him to make a statement?
Judge, if I may
Yes.
continue, can I make my argument for the court to grant his application?
But he wants to be a witness.
No, he was gonna just apologize to the court
Yes,
at
ma'am.
the end. That's all he wanted to do.
Yes,
Well, I'm sorry, you're not allowed to do that unless you're under oath. So do you wish to be placed under oath and make a statement to the court or not?
Oh, if it's not needed, ma'am,
Well, I mean, I can't judge whether it's needed or not.
yes, ma'am, I just wanted to say,
Well, no.
yes, ma'am.
Either you're gonna say something, and if you're gonna say something, then the state will have a chance to question you.
Okay.
So which would you like to do?
Um, I take full responsibilities for my.
Well, all right, he's given his statement. So you're taking full responsibility for your actions?
Yes, it's the biggest mistake I made in my life.
No, these are big choices people are making, not mistakes. So what are you taking responsibility for?
And just for my actions,
What were your actions?
whatever the night of the incident, whatever has happened,
No, whatever is whatever. What is whatever?
what I'm being charged with,
What are you being charged with?
family violence and burglary, habitation, or breaking a window.
All right, so what is the whatever? This is not sign fair where we change
I'm
yada,
sorry.
yada, yada to whatever. So what are you apologizing for? What are your actions?
Just to the victim and the family, just where, everything,
What is everything?
just disrespecting and, just,
How are you disrespectful?
just breaking the window and just, disrespecting the household. That was
All right, so breaking the window, and then you say breaking the window and disrespecting the household. So how did you disrespect the household other than breaking the window?
I feel that's disrespect. I feel that's disrespect.
All right, so you broke the window, and what else? Because we're not here for the breaking of the window. We're here for family violence.
Arguing and
Not here for an argument. Because if we were arguing, the last time I checked, is not a crime.
yes, ma'am.
So what are you apologizing for?
I
And this is probably why your attorney was like, there's nothing for you to say, but I want to know what you're apologizing for.
just everything, ma'am. I apologize.
What is everything? I don't know. I wasn't there. So I have no idea what you're apologizing for.
Just family violence, just arguing with the daughter.
Okay, arguing is not a crime. Arguing does not result in you having a family violence charge. So what is everything and what are you apologizing for?
I didn't do nothing like, I didn't lay my hands on her, but
Oh, you want a jury trial?
No, ma'am, I'm just saying I apologize, ma'am.
Well, you're telling the court that you didn't put your hands on her, and we're here for you putting your hands on her. If you're saying you did not do that and you want a jury trial, we will give you a jury trial.
No, ma'am.
So then what are you apologizing for?
For my actions.
And what were your actions?
I just arguing with her and
Any questions? Because arguing is not a crime.
Can I get a second?
Sure.
I apologize, ma'am, for the choking and the strangulation. I apologize for that.
Of who? What's the name of the person?
I apologize for the choking and strangulation on Carla Cadron.
All right, so why are you choking somebody?
Um,
And I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but how tall is she?
she's the same height, actually a little bit taller than me.
All right, so why are you choking somebody?
You
I don't
know,
understand that.
I've been through the same thing with her and I just couldn't handle it no more.
All right. All right, any other questions?
Nothing from the state.
Defense?
Judge, I think
And I do see where she was sentenced to 20 months for
That's
some
correct, Your Honor.
offense. And was this for a violent offense as well?
I believe it was for,
Criminal mischief, Your Honor.
All right, what's the criminal mischief about? Does anybody know?
I can pull it up if you'd like, Your Honor. I just.
Sure, is it criminal mischief against his property or something?
I have no idea, Your Honor.
And the reason why I'm asking this is because now mind you, I'm disregarding the victim
Yes, I
impact.
asked him that specific question.
Okay.
I asked him that specific question.
You know, I read,
I
so,
asked him that specific question.
so I'm just trying to find out if that's
I
related
don't
to
think,
this.
I don't think they know that either.
Okay,
The victim's name is Brittany Calderon in that matter.
okay.
So might be the sister of ours, but no family relation to the defendant.
Okay. All righty, well, I'm disregarding it, but the victim impact statement by a relative seems to suggest that the 20 months is somehow related to this defendant.
Yes.
All right.
And I asked, that's one of the first things I asked the state. Judge, if I may, based on Mr. Alvarado's criminal history, it's our position that he is a perfect candidate for deferred adjudication because he has no other felony offenses.
Mhm.
I know the court inquired about him taking responsibility. He was a little hesitant or significantly hesitant about doing so, but that's part of the process and that's part of the rehabilitation for someone to be on probation, for someone to evolve and someone to take responsibility while they are on probation. And so again, I feel that Mr. Alvarado is a great candidate for probation for that reason, because he has no other felony offenses. And if the court were to give him an opportunity, I feel that he can prove to you that he will be successful in completing his deferred adjudication. It's my understanding that prior to being arrested 225 days ago, he was working as a mechanic. He intends to continue to work as a mechanic once he is released. If you do look at the pre-sentence report on page 7, at the bottom, it says, if the defendant is supervised, he should be supervised at a moderate level, which is level 2. He's not someone that should be supervised at the high risk level because he's not a high risk defendant. So I think the court should consider that when making the decision. So we are asking the court to grant his application for deferred adjudication. He's willing to comply with any conditions that the court may impose upon him.
Okay. All right, and then I see that there's a mental health issues as well, based upon the TAP evaluation.
That's correct.
All right, if I were to grant your application, who would you be living with?
A girlfriend of mine.
Why people jump into relationships? You're not ready for a relationship, so you're not gonna be living with your girlfriend. So where are you gonna be staying?
My stepmother.
Does your stepmother want you there?
Yes.
What is your stepmother's name?
Amanda Alvarado.
That's the 114 is Buchanan address. Your Honor.
All right, before you get into another relationship, you need to work on yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any children?
No, ma'am, I do not.
All right, that's a good thing, because you're not ready. All right, the court is going to sentence you to 8 years deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Carla, Carla, Araceli Calderon, and my understanding she's currently in, sounds like maybe state jail facility. The BIPP course, MIC caseload, regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Defendant is to reside with Amanda Alvarado. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Field visits one time per month for 4 months. And then thereafter at probation's discretion. And I'm going to do partial GPS for the first 6 months. And if there are no issues, then it'll be tracking. And counsel, you can approach after 6 months time period to see if I will consider removing that. Taken in consideration, night mag number 691315. There's to be 200 hours of community service restitution. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Yes. Dual diagnosis, outpatient treatment with probation. All right. Is there anything else?
Can you waive the GPS fees?
All right. I'll ask that the fees be waived or deferred.
Will that be done through the jail?
Yes, since he's in custody, we can do it through the jail. All right. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am.
Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You're not ready for a relationship. And I don't say this lightly because I have a green thumb. I can grow a lot of plants. People were shocked that I was able to grow gardenias in San Antonio. Beautiful gardenias. The snow killed them, but we're making a comeback. Beautiful rose of Sharon. Before you get in a relationship, get an orchid. They sell them at the HEB. They sell them at Walmart. When you get them, they're beautiful. The flowers are all on them. Wait till all of those flowers fall. And if you can get that plant to rebloom, then maybe you're ready for a relationship. And I say that because you get the little instructions on the orchids. They say ice cubes, which you're not supposed to do. They tell you, oh, put it here, put it there. Blooms still fall off and blooms don't come back. And having an orchid takes a lot of patience, and you got to be very gentle with it. So if you're able to get an orchid and make it rebloom, you may be ready for a relationship. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, are we ready on Victor Mesa? All right, Mr. Mesa, if you'll come forward. We're back on the record in 2023. Do you need this for them to do their plea? We're back on the record in 2023, CR 8380, State of Texas versus Victor Mesa. All right, Mr. Mesa, you're positive for something other than marijuana. Why?
I only take Sudafed and Tylenol because of my sinus and because of my pins and my screws in my foot. That's it, man. I don't see how that's possible. And
Yeah.
I can do it every day this week. And y'all, I mean, if I have to stop taking my medication, I'll stop doing that. But I really do it because of my surgery on my foot. Was that not missing?
All right.
My drug is supposed to be cocaine.
This is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to a $500 fine. That will be probated. And you stated you didn't have children, correct?
Ma'am?
Do you have children?
Yes, ma'am.
How many?
2,
What are their ages?
26 and 21.
And who do you live with?
My mother,
Why are you living with your mom?
she needs help with the kids. She adopted my niece's kids.
And how old are they?
They're 10 and 5. I mean, 10 and 15.
All right, she doesn't need help with the children if you're using marijuana and you're positive for marijuana. When's the last time you used?
2 days ago.
Why are you using drugs and you know you have to come to court?
Ma'am, that's something that I've been doing for a long time, and I was honest before about it. You know, I don't lie about
Well,
it.
I know you've been doing it for a long time because when they pulled you over, they said you were eating it.
I wasn't eating it. I don't know how.
Well, they said your teeth were green and you had marijuana leaf in your mouth.
I had told the officer I just came from my house. I was going back to work. I just ate. But I mean, I'm not gonna
Marijuana,
dispute-
according to
No,
them.
ma'am.
All right, court is going to sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 4 years. $57 restitution for drug testing. 150 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to require parenting classes. And probation, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to go out to that house and check on the children who are in his mother's care. So it'll be field visits 1 time per month until further notice. Children don't want to be around people who smell of marijuana. It messes with their brains. Doesn't help their brain develop. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And don't be bringing marijuana into your mother's home.
Yes, ma'am.
And don't be driving her around with marijuana in a car with the children in the car because they don't need to be smelling marijuana. It stinks. Field visits 1 time per month. 150 hours community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes for him. If he completes that, then the 150 hours will be waived. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. I'm going to want him with the UA hotline. Test him for levels. Those levels had better start going down. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
There's going to be 90 sober meetings in 90 days. TAP evaluation, follow TAP recommendations, but I'm sure they're going to recommend intensive outpatient treatment. So let's start with intensive outpatient treatment before inpatient. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am.
Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Also, because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. You're going to go off the record. Don't be bringing nonsense to your mom's house because she's letting you, a grown man, live at her house. Understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck.
Thank you, ma'am.
Judge. May we
You're
be
welcome.
excused?
Yes, probation will go over conditions. Why do I have the file on Fernando Espinoza? Yes. Hello.
Hello, back again, George.
Oh, this is the person who needs the interpreter.
Oh, me.
No, I'm talking about your client.
Oh.
All right, are you all ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, what's happening with this case?
Your Honor, I was an offer by Mr. Escobar. I conveyed that offer to my client. The client has rejected the offer, indicating to me that he rather replace me with his own higher counsel. Didn't like the offer.
All right. Mr. Espinoza? This is the way things work. I've been a defense attorney. I've been a prosecutor. Your attorney can review a file, review the discovery, and can make a counter offer to the state if he chooses. The state can offer whatever they want to offer. You can think their offer is ridiculous, outrageous, whatever term you want to give it. But your attorney cannot force the state to make an offer that you want. All your attorney can do is your attorney can say, my client will not accept that offer, but this is what my client is willing to accept, which is called a counter offer. The state can say that counter offer is ridiculous. The only thing we're going to offer you is what we previously offered you. Do you understand? Yes. All right. So today is your plea deadline date. Either you are accepting the state's offer today or not. If you choose not to accept the state's offer, the court will not consider any plea bargain agreements in this case without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plea open to the court. Do you understand? Can he show me the offer again? All right, if you guys will go back over there and you'll show him the offer again.
I already did, Judge, 15 years.
Why? Let me ask you this, Mr. Leal. Why, when you know that plea bargain agreements, until they are presented to the court, are not to be tendered to the court? I'm not supposed to know anything about your negotiations. So if you all will go to the jury box and if you will let him know what the offer is, and then if he is accepting that offer, get the paperwork done. If he is not accepting that offer, then we'll go from there.
Thank you. Your Honor. I have some expert motions concerning this case and the previous case that was before you and for your signature.
All right, who is Eric? Who's here on Eric Gonzalez Lopez?
I'm here, Judge. I did confer with the state, and then I realized that they hadn't brought my client. They were looking for him, and he was not brought today. So I spoke with Lance. I could be here Wednesday, but I understand that you are not having a docket, and then the
Oh,
rest.
we're in jury trial.
Yeah.
So, Lance, on Eric Gonzalez Lopez, can you put this for sometime the last week in November?
I'm here on the 27th, Judge, if you want to add it to that day.
All right. Yes, we'll bring you back on the 27th.
Okay, great. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And then Lance, we're taking our break at noon. So everyone who's remaining on the docket, they're gonna have to come back at, let's say, 2:30. All right.
Mr. Stern is here. He has the application.
Vega?
That's correct, yeah. Lyric Vega, Your Honor.
All right, Lyric Vega. All right, and where are we on this case?
Judge, this was our first setting today. The state's recommending that she apply for the pretrial diversion program.
All right,
We've already filled out an application, so we just need to submit that.
all right, Lance, can we set this in 30 days for a pretrial diversion?
You just make sure I'm the county judge. That's fine, Your Honor.
All right, so once you sign the reset form, you are excused. We'll see you back here on December 14th.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
And this is. So Lance, the people who are coming back then, I guess is Devin Wilson with Douglas Kapmeyer. And then we have Eddie Brovinick with Stephen Estrada. Okay. Stephen and Sarah, we finished that one. When is that supposed to be coming back, Lance? He's on page 10.
November 30.
Okay. And then on the next page, Danny Showalter. Oh, he's out there in the hallway. All right, Victorino Soto with one Carlos. One, okay. All right, so that'll be 2:30. Lazaro Estrada, 2:30. Espinoza Rodez, 2:30. And then Devin Wilson, 2:30. Destiny Valadez. All right, why were you late? All right, the bus doesn't take that long. All right, you're gonna have to come back at 2:30. And then Carla Gonzalez, she's actually, yes, Carla Gonzalez. So that's gonna be 2:30 too. No, she's not here. I'm gonna call it for a bond forfeiture. Then Jose Amezcuse.
That's for Joanne De Hoyos. I've been conferring with Daniel. He was just brought out, but he only speaks Spanish. I'll need an interpreter at 2:30.
All right, that'll be 2:30.
And I do have a jury trial. It's for a misdemeanor at 1:30. If I don't go, I'll be here. But if I'm not here, I'm in county court 7 trial.
We'll call you to come up. Thank you. And then Amadeus Smith, 2:30. And Luis Miguel, 2:30. And Diana, you can go on your break.
Judge, are you gonna? Oh.
Hello.
Oh, Judge.
Hi.
Judge, I got those letters you asked me for Kate Johnson, other occupational license. Do you want me to come back at 2:30?
2:30. And she's in the waiting room, so if you could call her and let her know 2:30.